Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th anniversary PlanetSide development stream. We're at a new studio. We're in a new broadcast room. I tweeted out a little behind-the-scenes shot this morning, so we are hoping that we don't encounter any technical errors, but the tech team has been working all week to ensure that we don't. As you can see, I overdressed for this because it's such a special occasion. I'm not interviewing somewhere else, or what are all the random jokes. I'm not going to a funeral. I'm not going to a wedding. But yeah.
No, but you are going to speak some spoken word.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we have been. It wasn't even this morning. It was all week. We've just been talking about the beauty that was the William Shatner spoken word version of Rocket Man. We had a pretty big production plan, but we just didn't have time to pull it off.
I told them that if they buy me the suit, I'll wear it. Yeah,
okay.
We'll
Next year, 9th anniversary.
Yeah, 9th anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will reenact the entire thing, like the stepping away, like all the special effects from 1978.
I'll need a third person with just the craziness.
Exactly, with the tie untied, disheveled. All right. So enough of the shenanigans. It's a pretty special day for us. We're 8 years into PlanetSide 2 Live. We've got quite a bit to cover today. We're gonna just a quick rundown of the itinerary. We're going to cover the Extra Life event, just how that's coming along, and how much we've raised and how much everyone has helped us raise. We're going to be talking a little bit about the anniversary bundle, what's being unveiled in Chapter 2 with the new update today, and then probably the thing that everyone's most interested in is really taking a look at what we have planned through the end of the year, and more importantly, what's planned for 2021. So we'll be spending most of our time going through that. And as usual, Jay Golenbow, our esteemed community manager, is going to be running giveaways all through the entire stream. He'll be doing them. The first one, I think, kicks off in 10 minutes, and he'll be doing them about every 10 minutes until we wrap up. I think there's some criteria. You have to be viewing for at least 5 minutes. You don't have to have a you don't need to be a follower or use keywords or anything, but you have to be at least viewing for at least 5 minutes. So keep an eye on the winners. He'll be announcing them in chat. We'll probably be naming a few of them as well during the stream. And I think that's about it. Let's get started.
Yeah.
So first off, let's talk about Extra Life. Extra Life is something that's obviously bigger than PlanetSide 2. It's something that's really special. The community's been involved quite a bit. We had a fairly ambitious goal of raising about $20,000. So far, we're just above the $15,000 mark. And thank you all to everyone that's been involved with this. We're going to, I think we have the little infographic at the top of the screen. Justin is going to be posting the link if you're still interested in signing up, because it's going to be running through the end of the year. Just to call out a couple of the top organizations and individuals that have helped contribute to this: SOCAR's Legion, the Second Republic Attack Force, Astartes, and the wonderful and amazing Commander Sirius. They have raised the lion's share of that $15,000. So thank you all very much for that. So yeah, again, Justin's going to be dropping the link into chat, and actually the one group that I did forget, thank you for pointing that out, Michael, is PSB. So PlanetSide Battles. Thank you guys again very much for your support and helping raise money for this organization. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about the anniversary bundles, what got released today, and what's available for players now.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that. That sounds like fun. So as of this morning, you should see a new bundle. We do this every year for those who are new to PlanetSide 2 or new to at least the stream. And you'll find a bunch of interesting weapons and different bundles, most of which I've unlocked on this character. But yeah, so if you go to the depot, you'll be able to see there's 3 different price points. You got the Cadets bundle, which has a decal and a banner and a melee weapon, or a power melee weapon, and a camo, and then the bundles build out. You got your 6-month heroic boost and some empire or some common pool weapons, and then lots of trims and lots of additional camo, that sort of thing. You can look through all the bundle information in particular, but really what I wanted to do is kind of show off some of the actual visuals, some of the super cool weapons with new audio and all that sort of fun stuff. So I'll go over here. We're on Zamir currently, and this is the heavy assault class with the NS-15M, which makes 8 NS-15Ms for the 8th anniversary. So
dun, 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 dun. Yo, Joe.
That's nice. Yeah, hold on. So very you got some laser beamy sounds, some G.I. Joe sort of inspired audio. It's amazing.
So many pews.
All the pews. Yeah. And so there's the NS-11C, NS-11A, NS-11 or NS-15M. And those weapons themselves have been in the game for a long time. But something that we haven't done in the past is actually create new models for the stuff in the anniversary bundles. Usually it's adjustments to textures and gold and or decals over the top and that sort of thing. But these are entirely new models. And Alan, our art team in general, but Alan in particular was really interested in trying his hand at some weapon models, and they came out phenomenally. And Bishop as well helped get these all kind of situated and put together. So this is something that we've done in-house, and yeah, I think they're phenomenal. The
anniversary bundle, and I'm sure Michael's going to be going through this in just a moment, but it was a combined effort through both our in-house artists as well as some of the long-time PlanetSide community contributors, which we'll be mentioning shortly.
Right, yeah. So so there's a new helmet this year as well, and it's got this with the whole bundle we're going for like exploration and space and kind of especially with the introduction of Sanctuary this year, and some of the other elements that we've kind of been working on. It seemed like a pretty appropriate theme. So you have the flight suit camo, which will vary greatly depending on what you equip it on, but it's got these solid stripes that kind of accentuate the outfit. And then the helmet was done by Faven, who is a longtime Player Studio content creator. And again, really, sort of astronaut style helmet as well. And yeah, let's see what else we got. We got in these bundles. Let's do summon a.
Any Lumifiber trims?
Liberator. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I don't want to jump ahead.
Yeah, no. We can totally get to that. I don't think I've actually equipped them on the character yet. So in the Star Seekers bundle, there's this Helios camo, which is a common pool one, and it's very metallic, and you can kind of see like there's it makes it look like there's panels. Again, it's just like sort of a space theme. And while astronauts tend to use a lot of like gold to block out radiation and that sort of thing with the visors, there's a big emphasis on the color orange too. So we're kind of replicating with that with some of this. But yeah, and then Lumifibers as well, as Andy mentioned. And let's see, what can we throw it on here? Let's throw it on this plain vanilla Sunderer.
Yes, Steve-O was
okay, there we go.
Was the artist that actually did all the Lumifiber trims for us.
Yeah, and these are all available on the public. Well, it's on live now if you buy the bundle, but also on the public test server if you want to try it
out for a cert.
Yeah, you just buy it for cert, and you can equip the whole shebang. And yeah, and there's some really cool elements like these, radar or dishes and some of the guiding lights and that sort of thing. Yeah, and all the bundles kind of follow this pattern. There's something for every faction in the game, including NSO, which is kind of it's a new edition as of the past. Well, it'll be coming up on 2 years of existence here soon, and we'll be talking about them a little bit later in the stream as well. Oh, I want to show you this. Okay, check this out. The scythe looks so good. The mosquito looks good too with the flight suit camo, like tile or tints one side of it pretty heavily, and it's just yeah, for the fashion side folks, there should be a lot of fun stuff in here. Let's see what else is. Oh, and so something that we've done new this year that we hadn't done prior is drop pod cosmetic, which I'm not actually going to show you on stream, but you go to Sanctuary, you talk to, or the center. There's a drop pod in the center shop. So if you've purchased the bundle, the Star Seeker bundle, you'll be able to have a custom drop pod. And we might expand upon that in the future. That would definitely be the goal. But yeah. And this is the underboss. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So all of this stuff and then more, like depending on the bundle you buy, you get there's boosts, there's deluxe implant packs. There's 3 of those that are available for purchase, and then there's one that is accessible through a mission for everyone that logs in.
Yeah, let's go to the mission.
I mean, we got to give something away.
Right, yeah.
You've bared with us for the last 8 years. It's the least we can do, right?
So in your daily mission list, if it didn't populate for some people today, there was a little bit of weirdness just with like when the missions populate, and like servers that are overseas, I think, had the issues. Mm-hmm. You should see it tomorrow, this mission, but you can complete it at any time that it pops up in your list. You accept it. It's really easy. Get a few kills with the sidearm, or capture and defend some facilities and get some kills with the sidearm, and then you get a platinum version of the NS45P, or NS45, the pilot pistol rather, and a really cool new decal too. And just on top of that, the decals actually they appear on the helmets as well, which I don't think is something that we've done before. But yeah, any decal that you equip, and there's some default faction-specific ones by default, or they come with it standard. But anything you change the decal to, it'll appear up top.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's the bundle.
Yeah. So again, all that's available, plus the free anniversary mission that you can get those items from for everyone.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Chapter 2? The other part of the update.
Right. So Chapter 2 it releases this now as well.
This now.
And
time zones are hard.
So if you go to the right, If you go to the campaign screen, you'll see something that's not mentioned in the patch notes, but probably should be, is that the price was also reduced further because of the subsequent chapters. So if you purchase it in Chapter 1, it's X price. If you purchase Chapter 2, because you can't then complete the entirety of the campaign. And chapters work, they're timed. So if you miss your chance, you don't get to go back and do it, but you can view the events of the past. So this is Chapter 1. You can go through and see what happened, but in the lower right-hand corner, it'll say expired. If you go to Chapter 2, which is the fresh and new one, it'll start from the top, and you'll be able to work your way through. The main purpose of this campaign is, so in Chapter 1, you are learning about the Shattered Warp Gate and kind of trying to figure out what caused it and see if there's any like sort of foul play or anything like that. And in Chapter 2, basically Representative Foster, who's a big wig at Nanite Systems, he basically says that he's come up with a plan, and the plan is to kind of create some sort of containment facilities on the continent of Esamir, and that we'll also be talking about later too, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, we could probably roll that in now. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Okay. I'm looking at our itinerary because trying to be professional.
Wait, this isn't all just off the cuff, off the top of the head here.
Here,
the reason why we need the itinerary is because I forget very important names like PlanetSide battles.
There you go. Make this a meme. Write something on it. That's asking for punishment. Okay, so if we go into Chapter 2, Foster's telling you about his plan, basically, which is to create containment sites, which will hopefully act as circuit breakers to help kind of stabilize what's happening beneath the continent of Esamir, and that does mean that there's new facilities coming in Chapter 3. Right. Well, I'll elaborate on that more in just a wee bit, but yeah. So you go through, and something new that you'll also see on Esamir, if I go find a geyser, is that these crystals are now appearing around these geysers, and they're actually crystallized Elysium. And Elysium is the sort of typically it's a liquid, but it's used as not even an energy source, more like a conductor for all the warp gate matrices or matrices, so that people can rebirth and that sort of thing. And when Nanite Systems sends a mining drill down, usually they're trying to kind of siphon Elysium from the surface to bring up to Sanctuary and kind of help their operations up there. But yeah, so these crystals you'll be mining by hand. I don't have the drill on me, or the portable mining laser, but you'll be seeing like a new item that you go talk to Nala, who's up in Sanctuary, and that's like the first mission that you get of Chapter 2, and working with these crystals is kind of harvesting resources for Nanite Systems, and the goal is you're helping gather enough material to construct a website, a GeoCities page. You're half of the people in the audience don't know what that is.
The version of GeoCities,
right. Yeah. You're creating facilities terrestrially, which is something that is very rarely done, and especially something that's going to be as monolithic as what we will show you in just a bit. So something else that you'll see in this campaign is faction-specific abilities that I'm not going to show off and spoil too much, but as you play through, you'll see some of that too, and those will last for the campaign. They're more like prototypey stuff, but it kind of follows down the thread that was started in Chapter 1 with like all the plant harvesting. What each faction was able to kind of to get out of that. But I'm going to switch over to the main camera real quick, and so you can see Andy's suit some more, and then we'll open up a little screenshot that
all right,
that I want to show off. All right. So coming in Chapter 3 will be the containment site, and the containment site, these will be placed throughout Esamir. There will be 3 of them, primarily indoor fighting locations, but you breach them with vehicles. Head into the center, and once you've established control of that, you kind of descend into the facility, and it will be so. So going into this campaign, kind of when we pitched the system, we had mentioned that the continents will be changing, or like the world of Araxis will be kind of evolving over time, and this is one of those things that we had planned to implement. So the Ymir Biolab and actually Apex Genetics is going to go away too. Vari Biolab. Those places that were some of the places that were destroyed and converted into construction sites, with the exception of Apex, is where these new facilities will go. And that's something that you kind of learn through the campaign. I'm giving you spoilers, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, the containment site will be an entirely new facility, and we haven't done that before. There was the Interlink a long time ago that never reached the satellite a day, but yeah, so this should be super exciting as you descend into the facility, and there's going to be some fun sub objectives too. I'll elaborate probably more in a later stream once we're closer, but the design that's currently laid out for this facility is really cool. It should be an interesting style of gameplay, and again, it'll be like an infantry combat zone, so similar to us pulling out the biolabs on Ezimir. These will kind of take the place and kind of create that the more infantry-centric environment as well, but not after the combined arms breach from the outskirts. And here's another shot with it, just different lighting and so shiny.
So shiny.
So shiny.
Is there a banana for scale there?
There's a galaxy for scale.
There we
go.
Okay.
Yeah, and some green army men that you probably can't see once they're way down in the bottom. But yeah, it's a monolithic creation, so that'll be.
Just to be clear, that's coming for Chapter 3.
Chapter 3,
not Chapter 2.
Right.
Which is live as of right now.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So look forward to that.
All right. So let's get to the point where I think everyone is tuning in for. Let's start talking about the future of the game, what we have, especially over the next several months and through 2021.
I thought this was going to be another William Shatner bit.
Yeah, I need a cigarette. I mean, I don't think I can legally smoke inside here. Well, I don't smoke
I think
anyways.
It's going to be a long time. Okay. It's a kite.
All right,
we've been taken off of Twitch.
Yeah. For everyone that's been with us for, not even necessarily the last 8 years, but for the last couple years, we hope that you've noticed the dramatic increase in new content and new features that we've been able to roll out this year. We've talked about this a lot before, but we at the beginning of the year we were able to pretty dramatically increase the team size again. Not only that, but we've also been able to start, as with the success that the game has seen with everyone coming back. We've been able to start expanding the team even more. So our plan is to continue forward with that. This is not a fluke. This isn't just some blip on the radar where we got a bunch of updates out and then we're going to go dark again for a couple months. The plan is to still continue at this cadence of getting new features, new content out on a regular basis, just like you'd seen for all of 2020 through 2021 in the future. So let's talk about what we have planned. So again, this is not meant to be a detailed roadmap of exactly when things are rolling in. There's going to be some stuff that we do point out that is very close on the calendar, but there's some stuff that's a bit further out on the horizon. But this is all stuff, not everything, but the stuff that we'd like to really focus on talking about right now. So let's talk about the first thing, which is Outfit Wars. So as you all know, we did. I think it was 2 Outfit Wars alpha cycles.
Yep.
Got a lot of good feedback from that. After the first one, we incorporated a lot of that feedback, ran the second one, got a lot of great feedback from that. But it was at that point that we really felt like there needed to be a significant overhaul. It wasn't just a couple weeks of work and do another alpha cycle. We didn't feel like we were going to get it to the point that we needed to where we could transition it to being the non-alpha version and getting into like the formal season. So what we did was take a portion of the team, I think it was 3 months ago, and started working on a pretty significant overhaul to the system and start expanding it. And we're pretty close to rolling it out. So, Michael, you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So one of the biggest points of friction for Outfit Wars in particular was the qualifiers. People got burnt out in the first phase. It was really extreme. And then in the second phase, we're kind of like getting the rulings a little bit closer. But it just, if we were to keep going down that route, we probably could have gotten it close to where it's tolerable. But we're not looking for tolerable. We're looking for fun and exciting and feeling like it's part of the game. So with that being said, we're going to be shifting to more like a tournament style, where your qualifiers are actually done on a match-by-match basis on Desolation, and that's something that we'll talk about in just a moment. But so the normal flow, all these dates, by the way, are kind of nonsense. but actually they don't look all that bad. But yeah, ignore the ignore the dates. So you enlist in the Outfit Wars currently, and you'll have so there's going to be your regular season, this playoffs, championships. Oh wait, actually I shouldn't mention that yet. Anyway, so
All right,
so
stream's over.
Yeah, let's try this over again. But yeah, so when you enlist in an outfit war, one of the things that we're going to be doing is making it so we have to have an even number of participants per faction. So if at minimum 10 Vanu outfits or whatever join on one side, and there's like 40 on the TR on the VS, we're still going to have to limit it to 10. So when you see this like enlistment pending, you'll queue up for an enlistment, and as those slots fill out and become even as far as matchups go, you'll kind of be added to this list. So you enlist first, and the enlistments or the dates in which you're going to play are going to be laid out up front. They'll be focused on the weekends, but when more outfits start showing up and you start building out the roster, what we do is we look at ideal times of play for to start populating those matches first, and then work backwards kind of into the week. So we can support an absurd amount of outfits currently using this process, and it's always going to be kind of like pushing people to the ideal time so that you get more chances to actually participate. Like there's less conflicts with outfit ops and that sort of thing. So on the screen you're going to see kind of our matchmaking. So we're going to be running a season, and the season's going to be broken down into 3 different parts. The first is kind of just the qualifiers, and it's a matchup of you jump in for your chance to play on Desolation, and all of the qualifiers will be run through this match these matchup sort of basis. So instead of playing the live game and hoping you get a chance to play on Desolation, everybody gets a chance to play on Desolation, which is going to be super cool for outfits who are like smaller, or maybe like couldn't like quite manipulate the system in such a way that it gave them enough score.
It'll make devs like Alan happy too, saying, "Why did I spend so much time on this?" And nobody gets to play on it.
Right. Yeah. So a lot Desolation will be available to way more people now, which is going to be super awesome. So you'll go and you'll play your qualifiers, and your win-loss record is going to determine like who you fight the next week. And you'll go through a number of different matches. The first, we're going to run an alpha cycle early next year, and it should be the last alpha cycle using this new system. And then we're going to compress the timescales. But more realistically, you'll see like a matchup every week as you move through the entirety of a season. So you'll run through qualifiers, and your win-loss ratio will determine who you're matched up against. And when you eventually hit the the qualifiers are finished, you'll get knocked out or you won't, based on just how many people were kind of pitting up against one another, who has a high score and that sort of thing. And there's multiple kind of records, I guess, for how we track score. The most powerful of which is win-loss, but like if there's an even number of wins and losses and that sort of thing, we're also monitoring your stats in-game, or just your performance in-game as well. So we've taken a lot of efforts to make it like it's fair and smart, and there was a lot of work that went into this. Like Andy said, we started this quite some time ago, but yeah, so
one of the questions that I know is it's coming up now, thank you Justin for reminding us, but it also came up a lot during the original 2 alpha cycles, is just accessibility to smaller outfits.
Yep. Yeah, and this is our solution to that. So we're still currently mandating the 48 number of players, as Desolation was kind of designed for that. But as far as so the massive outfits are, they'll be able to play, but they won't be the only ones who are able to play. Like you will jump in with your middle-sized outfit and that sort of thing, and kind of pull enough players together. In the future, we can probably work on doing like alliances and that sort of thing. It's not in the cards right now, but it's something that is kind of in the back of our mind, because stitching smaller outfits together is a smart thing to do. But we want to we definitely want to try the setup and see how many of the super large outfits kind of divvy up into smaller factions, because honestly, the more outfits we can get into the game, the better. And there's a handful of different goals, but we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, this really sets up the framework and the stage for us to start testing out stuff like that. But
right. Yeah. And I was
sorry,
I was
train of thought.
Yeah. Let's move on to so you have the qualifiers there in the I guess the regular season, and then you run into playoffs, which are, so we distill it down to the top fighters for this cycle, and we use a different scoring record. This based on your win losses there, but also like we gold, silver, bronze, that sort of thing matters. Gold is obviously the best, and then we'll distill that down further into a championship. So you'll end up with a top 3 outfits per faction, based on their matchups and where they place and that sort of thing. So and then in addition to that, there's going to be rewards at every level. So whether you're an outfit who is just like coming in to participate and you're using it to practice, and you maybe don't make enough progress like up the ladder, like there's still going to be stuff for you, both at a personal level and at an outfit-wide level. And we have to be kind of smart with what we do for rewards and like how we divvy those out, because an outfit of a few thousand players isn't really contributing to the 40 some odd players that you have in a match, right? So participation in the actual matches will be important, but we still want to kind of like celebrate the outfit as a whole. And you'll see rewards later. Some of it's still up in the air right now, so we're kind of sorting through that process. But in Alpha Cycle 1, we should get like a really good feel for what for how all this new stuff will play out.
So I started this off by saying, we're not mentioning specific dates, but this is one of those features that's coming pretty close to wrapping up and getting to a point where we're getting ready to roll it out. So shortly after the new year is, and by shortly, I'm talking about within the first month or so, we're planning on rolling this out to the live servers.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about
the rest?
That's let's. It was funny because Rel and I were talking about how we weren't sure how long the stream was going to go, but we're already 30 minutes into it, and we still have a lot to cover. So,
okay,
let's talk about what we have planned for 2021. So, obviously, went into quite a bit of detail about the Outfit Wars changes, but the next thing we want to talk about is, one of the most important aspects of the game, regardless of how you like to play it. It's the new player onboarding and getting new players into the game, because we still get a lot of new players every day in both the PC and PS4 versions. So this game is an incredibly deep and complex game. So we want to we've been working for the last several weeks now, kind of like we did with Outfit Wars, where we put together a smaller group to start ideating on some changes, and new player onboarding is going to be a big focus in the early part of next year as well.
Start with that.
Let's start with that. Yeah, exactly. So we put together this not so fancy presentation to just keep us on track. So we've already talked about Outfit Wars.
All right. This probably consolidates the points better than my mouth did. Yeah. So tournament stock qualifiers, score-based matchmaking, personal and outfit-wide rewards, and then we're done. So new player onboarding, as Andy mentioned. So this is also one of the things that's kind of coming up in the near term. So we are going to... So when it comes to new player experience, like there's no silver bullet for this. But we do know that we need a new tutorial. Like that's one of the things that absolutely has to happen.
Ours is not aged fine like wine.
Right. Yes.
It is rotted.
Right. So and then also an updated character create screen will be something that we want to do. And that's more just to kind of like give you a better understanding of the different factions and kind of their powers and that sort of thing, instead of just the red, purple, blue, and also gray. And then, so the new tutorial is going to be not only just a tutorial, but kind of your first look at the world of PlanetSide 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mentor system we want to touch upon as well. And that is will probably not be rolled into like the same update, but the mentor system will need some focus at some point for sure. Yeah, it's definitely on the agenda.
But just just to be clear, the way we look at the new player onboarding changes and just introducing new players to the game, every day that goes by that we don't actually improve this onboarding process is players that we're losing. So
right.
It's really high priority for us, especially right now. So that's like Michael had said. Rel had said.
Michael's fine.
Yes, Mike Rel.
Mike Rel Henderson.
Yes, that is one of our highest priorities at this point. So expect to see that relatively soon.
Yes, and we've actually started on it. So
yeah,
it won't just be 8 years of lip service. Hopefully. Okay, NSO Revamp. This is something.
Thank God we have this divider between us.
Right.
About to come over at you.
Yeah. So the NS operatives are something that was introduced with the DX11 update last year, and they definitely the intention was to build out the faction and create. Actually, I'll go to the next screen. How do I go back?
Hold on. So, okay, before you go to the next one, I need to set it up because the little NSO.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay, hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
One more.
Talk about those first steps. Is this just an NS revamp?
No, in
Michael?
fact, you could call it an NS overhaul.
All right, let's kill the stream right now.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah. Right. That secures my pay raise. Okay, so
that either went over really well or everyone is now leaving the stream.
Yeah, right.
It's just so bad.
Yeah. Okay, so you can call it. So one of the things that we're going to be doing with NS operatives is to make it free for all players. But memberships are still going to be able to have benefits, like we're going to allow you to assign yourself to a home faction. So Nanic Systems, as a faction, was intended to be built out. There's obviously things that are lacking from the arsenal, like vehicles mostly, and then the weapons as well. And those are things that are going to be coming alongside this, and hopefully it'll be just a massive, awesome update. And then the problems that NSO have, outside of like the bugs, there's a lot of weirdness because of how they're set up and how they shift between factions, that sort of thing. Free players are going to continue to shift between factions. Members will be able to align themselves with a faction from the outset, so from like character creation. Actually, there's two proposals, so I shouldn't lock that down right now. But the biggest problem I feel with Nanosystems operatives is that it's really hard to play with other people. They're very lone wolf oriented, and PlanetSide 2 is mainly a community oriented game. So if you can get them into to outfits alongside your friends, that'll be kind of a big part of sticking around and having fun with that faction. So we're definitely trying to work that angle. And then also not mentioned in the slide, but they'll probably be receiving, since it'll be open to everybody, some more asymmetry as well. So as far as like robots, they should probably be repaired instead of healed by a medic and that sort of thing. And asymmetry is something that I think our game can stand to.
They're robots with feelings, maybe.
Yeah, they definitely have feelings.
They have emotions.
Yeah. And then everything's nanites anyway, so it maybe doesn't matter so much. Anyway, so next up on the list, spawn system update. This still requires some planning. We've taken some passes at the spawn system in the past. In my opinion, it's gotten better, and depending on who you ask and how dark their rose-colored glasses are, spawn system has been really bad in the past. Or it'd lock you into a single lane, and you can't actually leave until you get into an ESF and fly across the map. And that's not really intuitive. But something that we can stand to improve on is a clearer rationale for like why you can spawn into place. Why shouldn't you be able to spawn into place? So some sort of clarity there. Population distribution. It'd be nice to start. This is something that the previous spawn system update tried to address, but it was using a really heavy stick to motivate people, and there was also a lot of bugs associated with it, so it just created confusion. But better population distribution. So like where we try to we suggest you go could be better. And instead of using the stick, maybe we're using carrots and that sort of thing. Remote vehicle spawn fixes, it's got to be done. That system is really hit or miss, despite how cool it is. And then joint combat has been something that's you kind of don't know what it's doing most of the time. So we'll take another swing at that as well. And this just kind of the spawn system, and with Nanosystems operatives, and I mean most of the stuff that we're talking about so far is it's reinvesting into the some of the older elements that have been released over time, because we want the game to feel solid. We want it to feel like it's a cohesive experience instead of these threads that are kind of sometimes woven in really interesting ways.
Partially woven threads.
Partly, yeah, right.
That actually, one of the questions that came up is, will we get new voice packs for NSO characters? And
Homero, our audio guy is.
I think that's his title. Is
audio guy. Yeah.
We were just talking about this the other day, especially with the new player onboarding and any sort of new VO direction for that. So, as part of rounding out the NSO as a faction, it would likely include that type of stuff.
That's something that he's been working on just for fun in his off time. So I feel like that's definitely something that we can pull off. But in regards to the audio stuff, so when we talk about creating new vehicles and that sort of thing, because NSO is going to need them, something that we lack right now is specific callouts. So audio is kind of a big hurdle when it comes to figuring out or like bringing in all those voice actors and then like having them move through new lines. So we'll definitely have to come up with some solutions for that. It would be nice to call out a javelin instead of a enemy transport vehicle. Or, I mean, nowadays we have like vehicles that can kind of shift factions too. So calling out a VS Mag Rider. Actually, I think we might, VS Mag Rider, a TR Mag Rider. I feel like we might actually have a call out for that in the backlog. But anyway, so there's a lot of different challenges that we need to address. And in that kind of it kind of bulks out the update in a way that maybe doesn't feel substantial, but it's like a lot of work in the background. So you'll see some of that.
And fortunately, we've got Homero, the audio guy,
who's
been part of the team for a while now, and he's not only is he able to deliver the stuff, but he's always reminding us about the stuff like that we need to fill out. So he is always wanting to add more to the game.
Yeah, and so glad to have someone who reminds us about this stuff. Okay, so you can talk about.
So this. Let's talk about preparing for the future, and we're still going to go into more detail about some of the other initiatives through the rest of the year. But as I mentioned earlier, we've been growing the team. If you have been paying any attention to any of our job postings, which I assume that most of you are not, we've been pretty heavily recruiting for our tech team, which are basically looking for senior graphics and engine and tools programmers. So what we want to do this year is, the game's 8 years old. The game is, we're always making refinements and improving things, but we really want to focus our efforts on improving the game engine. And that isn't just making the game look better. Obviously, we did the DX11 update that was a bit rocky. But we want to not only make the game look better for the future, but we also want to address a lot of the performance issues that not only are some of you dealing with and frustrated with, but so are we. So throughout the year, as soon as we continue filling these roles, we're going to start assigning them to work on some pretty significant engine improvements that include both visual enhancements, and for a lot of you watching this, more importantly, a lot of client and server performance optimization. So
better frame rates, better stability.
Yeah. So that's really what the engine enhancements are for, and that's something that again we have something possibly rolling out sooner in the year, but we have something quite a bit bigger in store towards the latter part of the year.
So with that said, let's move on to the. Oh, by the way, where can people go to apply for for one of these open positions?
So right now you need to go to daybreakgames.com and look under careers, because we don't have our careers page up on the Rogue Planet game.
Oh, do we not?
No,
okay,
we don't.
that's daybreakgames.com.
Nice setup there. Nice setup there, Michael.
Got him good.
Yeah.
But daybreakgames.com/careers, I'm pretty sure that works.
Yeah. Or if you're a developer, we will just hit me up on Twitter, and
Right.
we will send our recruiters after you.
Yeah.
In a good way. In
right.
a good way.
That
Not
is
like
one
not
way
like
to
releasing the
describe it.
hounds. Yeah.
Right. All right, let's get the guy. So moving on, the expansion of Araxis. All right. So really, what it comes down to is we want to continue to grow out the world of PlanetSide 2. So new continent coming up. Got an air horn. No, okay. New continent. So we'll do that.
I think you just did
all
the
right.
air horn.
Thank you. I do a passable air horn impression. So the periodic updates to older continents as well. Sorry, I glazed over the first one. So new continent. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Really not sure. That's so hilarious. So
Well, by not sure,
I've had a lot of caffeine this morning.
there's an assortment of options that we need to. It's a continent, so it's a massive amount of work, and we're
Right.
getting ready to. We need to get started relatively soon. So
Right.
we're towards the final stages of deciding which direction we're going to go.
You did get my joke though, right?
What's that?
Never mind.
We've been practicing this all week, and by all week I mean not at all.
Yeah. Yep. So new content for sure. That's definitely happening this coming year. Why am I stalling? Okay, so periodic updates to older continents as well. So we have some sticking points on. I mean, it would be nice to like maybe finish Hassan or make some adjustments, more adjustments to Indar, and then also just sticking points about Azamir. Like you'll see some of that coming early next year with Chapter 3 as well. When we place in the new facilities, we'll also be able to make some adjustments based on community feedback and that sort of thing, and fix some bugs at the same time. So. This is something that we want to periodically do. There was a lot of hesitation in the past to get people to download the entire map again, because that's what tends to happen whenever we make changes. So we need to be smart about it, continue to be. But I feel like some of our older concerns are no longer present. So and then alongside like a new continent. And then maybe with some of the changes to older continents as well, you'll see new stories and new campaigns. That's going to be a persistent kind of occurrence just throughout the years. Chapter 2 or campaign 2 will probably pick up somewhere midsummer. I think one of the things that we've at least figured out so far with doing these chapters is that we're kind of putting them too close together. That's something that, so if you've noticed the new dates for the campaign, they've kind of been spaced out a little bit more for the remaining chapters, and you have more time to do chapter 2, so it's not just a month. What's really funny is that toward the end, how many procrastinators do we have in the audience? Like so many people jumped onto the campaign like in the final days or whatever, just like I gotta finish this real fast. I had no interest before, but now I have all of the interest. So you'll have more time to then wait until the final moment to complete complete the chapter in the future, and then probably some spacing between, and then yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you later, guys.
Yeah. So that's kind of a high level outlook at what we're thinking about for 2021. Again, this isn't everything. This is just the stuff that we have pretty high convictions about, and that we've either already started on months ago or we're getting started on relatively quickly. And I'm afraid I might be sending people under a bus if I say this, but
do it.
If you recall promises of continents in the past and they just weren't delivered,
don't.
The benefit this time is that we have. No, I'm not. And this is going to seem very
it's
backhanded,
fine. I
but
just can't remember who did that.
It was that. We finally have a team that like a team size that is capable of delivering these types of updates again, which in the past it was very
one-man band.
Yeah, it was a very noble cause. It was but this is why we wanted to focus on these specific topics for the live stream, is just because it's stuff that we have confidence in. Some of it requires a lot of work, and we need to get started on it soon. But we feel like we can actually deliver this, and it's less of a pipe dream, and it's more very much a very feasible roadmap for the coming year.
Yeah.
So I think this is about the time that we're going to wrap things up.
We
I don't know if Justin wants to do any more giveaways, but just again, a reminder that we've got the Extra Life event happening through the end of the year. Justin will both drop the links in chat, and he'll be tweeting those out. I'm sure that we're going to be posting a video sometime this afternoon, just if you happen to miss this. But if you're hearing me say that, then you're not missing it. But if you came in late, then you'll be able to see the full recap. Again, the update is live for the anniversary and Chapter 2, which is unlocked today. PS4 is we're targeting getting the anniversary bundles out hopefully early next week. But they are everyone is getting double XP starting today through the end of the day next Thursday. The PS4 Chapter 2 schedule is offset a bit just because the original Shattered Warpgate release happened a bit later. So Chapter 2 for PS4 begins, I believe it's December 15th. So that update will be going out in early December. But other than that, man, I can't believe it's been 8 years already. It's amazing and terrifying, and we couldn't actually be here without all of you. So
it's been a long time.
So it's been a long. Have you been like weaving the lyrics of Rocket Man into this entire stream?
No, not intentional. Well, I mean, now this was intentional, but okay. But if there was any other moments in which that occurred, please timestamp them.
All right. Well, on that note, on that incredibly corny reference note,
if you haven't seen the tweet, please go see the tweet to the link to the video so that you can educate yourself.
I tweeted out the hype video that Rel and I have been watching all morning, drinking lots of caffeine and watching the William Shatner Rocket Man rendition.
I did not mention it, but you get the Rocket Man title in the
that's why all the references to Rocket Man.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
okay. Well,
it's been real.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us, and we'll talk to you again. Have a good rest of the day.
This is the part where we leave.